Have you ever considered that, as something gets more complex or maybe faces tougher challenges, it should naturally slow down?
Yeah, demand more resources or just become more costly, right?
Exactly. It's our gut feeling, isn't it? A harder problem means more effort.
It absolutely is. And, well, that intuition holds true for so many systems we encounter.
Mhm.
But what if we told you that an advanced system, specifically an algorithm, can actually become more efficient at making its decisions?
Even when things get tougher.
Yes, even as the environment around it becomes exponentially more difficult, more risky. It's a genuine twist on what we'd normally expect.
That's really the fascinating heart of what we're digging into today, this thing called the algorithmic decision cost paradox.
Right.
Our mission really is to unpack this surprising phenomenon. We want to look at how algorithms evolve, and specifically how their decision-making costs can dramatically decrease,
Decrease. Okay.
even as the world they operate in grows in complexity and risk.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds backwards.
It really does. And our insights for this deep dive, they come from a collection of detailed notes and some pretty solid research, looking at algorithmic trends, system dynamics, their operational characteristics.
Right.
We've basically sifted through it all to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge to help you quickly grasp this truly counterintuitive paradox.
Okay, so let's explore this paradox, maybe starting with the operational aspects.
Good place to start. Yeah.
These describe the algorithm's real-world behavior, right? Its efficiency in making decisions as it moves through these different steps. Step 1, Step 2, all the way to Step 7 in the data we looked at.
Exactly. And the central player, the key metric in this paradox, is something called decision cost.
Decision cost, okay.
Think of this as the actual resources. Maybe time, maybe computational power,
Hmm.
that an algorithm expends to make a choice at any given point. It's sort of the hidden overhead of thinking for the algorithm.
Got it. So what does the data tell us about this decision cost? What did the research show?
Well, at step 1, it starts at a value of 10. Seems reasonable, but here's the kicker. As you said, as the algorithm progresses through those steps, we see a consistent, quite dramatic downward trend.
Downward, not so quick.
Downward. By step 7, it actually plummets to just 1.
1, from 10 down to 1.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal reduction, like a 90% drop in the cost of making a decision.
Wow.
So this consistently lower cost means the algorithm's decisions are becoming progressively less burdensome,
Right.
less costly.
Right.
And we interpret this directly as a significant increase in decision-making efficiency. It's like the algorithm is learning to be faster or maybe leaner or just, smarter at arriving at its choices.
Okay, now here's where it gets really mind-bending for me.
Mm-hmm.
This incredible drop in decision cost.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't happening because things are getting easier for the algorithm, is it?
Not at all. In fact, it's occurring despite some seriously escalating challenges. Things are getting harder.
Right. Let's look at the other side of this paradox then.
Mm-hmm.
What about previous era impact?
Good one. So previous error impact measures how much the algorithm's past mistakes, its previous errors, influence its current operations.
Okay, how much baggage it carries.
Exactly. And what's striking here is that it begins at 0, right at step 1. No baggage yet,
Makes sense.
but then it doubles with each successive step.
Doubles every time.
Every single time. It rockets up to 32 by the time it reaches step 7.
So this isn't just a minor increase then. This is exponential growth.
Precisely. It means the weight, the influence of past errors becomes exponentially more pronounced as the algorithm advances.
Wow. Imagine playing a game where every past slip-up makes the current level twice as hard.
That's a good analogy. The stakes are truly compounding.
Okay, what else is getting harder?
Then we have the complexity score. This parameter quantifies the inherent complexity, either of the algorithmic pattern itself or maybe the problem it's trying to solve.
The task itself gets trickier.
Exactly. And similar to the error impact, it starts pretty simple at 1, at step 1. But it consistently doubles with each successive step, hitting its peak observed value of 64 by step 7.
64. So the problem isn't just growing. Its inherent intricacy is multiplying. Exponentially, again.
Yes, and that signifies a rapid escalation in the demands placed upon the algorithm.
Like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube that keeps adding more faces as you go.
Yeah, something like that. It's getting vastly more complex internally.
Okay. And there was one more challenge metric, wasn't there? Risk.
That's right, risk assessment. This measures the overall level of associated risk as the process advances.
And what does that do?
Well, it starts low at 0.1 at step 1, but then it increases consistently by 0.1 at each subsequent step.
So step by step, Increases.
Exactly, reaching point 0.7 by step 7. So not exponential like the others, but a steady, definite climb. It indicates a growing level of inherent risk in what the algorithm is doing.
Okay, let's try and put this all together then, because this feels like the absolute core dynamic of the paradox. Even as the system's internal problem complexity skyrockets,
Doubling each step.
the overall risk steadily climbs.
Yep, step by step.
And the influence of past errors becomes exponentially more pronounced.
Doubling too.
The cost associated with making the individual decisions progressively gets less. It just feels deeply counterintuitive.
It absolutely does. I mean, when you lay it out like that.
Yeah.
But this trend, it strongly suggests a profound maturation, maybe, or refinement. Something's happening within the decision-making process itself over time.
Like it's learning shortcuts.
Maybe. Or learning to abstract, to find simpler, more consolidated pathways to decisions, even when everything around it is chaotic. It's becoming, incredibly efficient at the act of deciding.
Even when facing these escalating internal complexities and external risks.
Exactly. But, and this is important, this isn't a story of everything just getting easier overall.
Right. You made that clear.
Despite this impressive efficiency gain in decision-making, the algorithm is simultaneously facing increasingly challenging conditions. Past mistakes hit harder, the overall problem is far more intricate.
So there's a critical distinction here.
A very critical distinction. While the cost of individual decisions decreases, less time, fewer resources, the overall risk for the algorithm, for the whole system, is still increasing.
Okay, so efficiency doesn't equal safety, necessarily.
Precisely. Despite its improved internal efficiency, the system is entering scenarios with higher inherent complexity and greater vulnerability to the consequences of previous errors.
So its overall risk profile is actually going up.
Yes. It's becoming better, maybe faster at its job, but the job itself is getting inherently more dangerous or complex.
Okay, so we've explored this core paradox. That's fascinating. But you mentioned these things aren't happening in isolation.
That's right. Our research, the sources we looked at, emphasize that these operational aspects, the paradox included, they don't operate in a vacuum. Algorithmic patterns, system dynamics, and these operational metrics. They seem to co-evolve. They're distinct, yes, but they're concurrent progressions within the system, all happening in parallel.
Parallel, okay. Does one cause the other? Like, does the pattern change cause the cost drop?
That's the crucial point. The data we have doesn't establish a direct causal link like that. It doesn't show changes in one category explicitly influencing or causing changes in another. They're presented more as simultaneously and independently contributing factors.
So the overall behavior we observe is like a composite, a mix of all these parallel trends.
Exactly. It's the sum of these parts, evolving together, but maybe not directly pulling each other's levers, if that makes sense.
It does. So maybe we should briefly broaden our view then. Beyond just the operational paradox, what about this algorithmic pattern evolution?
Yeah, let's touch on that. This category describes how the inherent patterns, like the internal structure or logic of the algorithm, change with successive iterations.
Okay.
For instance, there's a metric called fractal dimension. It starts at 1.5, but it steadily increases with each iteration, up to 2.7.
Fractal dimension.
Suggesting the algorithm's internal patterns are becoming more complex, more intricate, maybe more fractal-like in their structure over time.
Interesting. What else changes in the pattern?
Well, recursion depth also undergoes a pretty fascinating transformation.
Recursion, like calling itself.
Exactly. It starts simple, at a depth of 1, but then it doubles with each successive iteration, exploding to 64 by iteration 7.
Wow, another doubling effect.
Yeah. It signifies a rapidly increasing depth of self-reference or deeply nested internal calls within the algorithm's logic.
Like those Russian dolls, where each decision contains many more layers of internal processing.
That's a great way to picture it. And one more. Pattern variability. Starts low at 0.1, but consistently increases to 0.7. Meaning the algorithm's underlying patterns become more diverse, maybe less predictable, less uniform as it evolves.
Okay, so if we sum up this pattern evolution, as the algorithm advances, its internal structure, its inherent patterns, they aren't just scaling up. They're becoming fundamentally more intricate, more deeply layered, and also more varied and complex.
Yes, it's like a complete architectural redesign happening on the fly while it's running.
Okay, and then there was the third area, algorithmic system dynamics.
Right. This category looks more at the algorithm's overall behavior as it evolves over discrete time intervals, or time steps.
Like its performance over time.
Sort of. For instance, there's a metric just called value. Now, its precise nature isn't fully detailed in our sources, but what's consistently observed is that it starts at zero point 0 and steadily increases over the time steps, reaching about 9.2 by time step 7.
So some measure of output or progress is increasing.
Seems likely, yes. Then there's error correction. This one starts at zero point 0, but systematically increases by 0.05 at each time step, reaching 0.35.
Ah, so it's getting better at fixing its mistakes.
That's what it strongly suggests. An incredibly important adaptive process seems to be at play. It indicates the algorithm is continuously learning, refining its ability to self-correct as it operates.
That makes sense, especially given the rising error impact you talked about earlier.
It does seem connected, even if not directly causal in the data. Interestingly, though, there's another metric. Prediction confidence.
Okay, confidence in its predictions.
Yeah, seems so. It starts high at 1.0, perfect confidence, but then it gradually experiences a minor decline over time, dipping just slightly to 0.993.
So it gets better at correcting past errors, but slightly less sure about the future.
That's what it looks like. Even as the system becomes more adept at correcting errors, its confidence in future predictions might diminish just a tiny bit as it continuously operates and adapts to perhaps unforeseen complexities or new information.
So summarizing these system dynamics then, we see a process where the algorithm's value grows, its error correction steadily rises.
Pointing to robust adaptive learning.
Right. Yet this happens even as its prediction confidence experiences that small dip.
Yeah. It's a nuanced picture, isn't it? Becoming better at fixing mistakes, but maybe, just maybe, becoming more aware of the inherent uncertainties involved in prediction as it gets more complex.
It truly is a complex picture, all these simultaneous intertwined changes. So let's recap the big picture. You've seen how algorithms can exhibit this really fascinating paradox.
Yeah, the core idea.
They become incredibly efficient in their decision-making, needing fewer resources, less time, even as they face dramatically increasing complexity internally.
Right, higher risks externally.
And a much more pronounced impact from any past errors they've made.
It's quite the balancing act. And this algorithmic decision cost paradox, it really offers a crucial lens, a different way to view these advanced algorithmic systems.
Oh, so.
Well, it suggests this powerful form of adaptive learning, maybe optimization, that allows them to actually thrive under pressure in a way.
Okay.
Yet, at the same time, it highlights that this efficiency isn't some kind of magic bullet. It doesn't erase the challenges.
Right, because it comes with that growing overall risk profile for the system itself.
Exactly. Efficiency in one part, increasing risk overall.
Which leads to a really provocative thought to leave people with.
Mm-hmm.
If algorithms can learn to make decisions more efficiently, cheaper, faster, in environments that are simultaneously getting inherently more complex, more risky, what does that actually mean for our future reliance on these systems?
That's a huge question.
Yeah. When might that internal efficiency, which sounds great, combined with an escalating overall risk profile? When might that combination lead to unexpected outcomes, maybe failures, things we haven't even considered yet?
And perhaps, how can we as humans prepare to manage the decisions of systems that are becoming, well, simultaneously more capable, but also potentially more precarious?
More efficient, but maybe more fragile in the face of those compounding risks. Lots to think about there.
Definitely. It changes how you might think about deploying and trusting these kinds of advanced systems.